first to enter eternity.
Oh, potato! Way to go, buddy!
The pipes are called.
Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durban, and this is my spoiler-free review for Sausage Party. You know, this movie definitely did have a lot of funny stuff. I mean, its overall concept is actually quite funny, which you get that from the trailer, where really food is alive, but somehow we humans don't see it, don't perceive it. There they are, walking, talking, hands with gloves and feet with shoes, but we as humans, for some reason, never hear their little pathetic cries for help as we eat them and they're tormented and boiled alive and all that funny. Is that funny? This movie left me with a lot of philosophical conundrums, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But that's the plot of this movie, that basically the food all thinks we human beings are gods. And so they have a happy little song that they sing every day. It has the rules that they need to follow for their religion so that they don't get in trouble and discarded and thrown in the trash can because they don't understand the concept that they can expire. And so they get thrown away. And so they don't, you know, I don't know. That's kind of the whole thing right there. So they're trying not to get thrown away. They want to be taken by humans. And then, of course, as you see in the trailer, yeah, it's pretty torturous for them once humans start, you know, skinning the potatoes and eating the little sausage links. And there it is. There it is. Really, I feel like a lot of the funny stuff was in the trailers, but the movie was still funny. Like, I can't say there was one point where I was bored throughout this movie. I was entertained from beginning to end. But honestly, I felt like this movie was a little bit preachy. I know, that's a weird thing to say, but it did. It felt like it was trying to tell me throughout this whole movie, dump your religion so that you can do whatever you want to do and not live by any dumb rules. And when they say do whatever you want to do, they specifically mean do whatever you want to do sexually. So drop your religion, drop your rules. It's not very good anyway. Then you're free to do whatever you want sexually. That just seemed to be the whole message that I felt like this movie was trying really hard to preach. At the same time, you can't ignore that it's really just a movie about talking food, and they thought humans were gods, but they're really just humans that's going to eat them. So of course they're going to be exceedingly disillusioned when they find out the truth, to say the least. There's one point in this movie where there's this character who uses bath salts, and he's a human character, and once he uses these and gets all high, in his high state, he can see that the food talks, that it has eyes and, you know, a mouth, and can walk, and, you know, they have feelings, and they don't like being eaten and all that stuff. So, like, he can, like, see this now. Like, the veil has been lifted. He's getting a peek now into reality. But I have to say, like, when this guy came in with his bath salts, put it in the little spoons, put the little flame under it and all that stuff, there was about 5 or 6 people sitting around me in the theater that just went, oh, come on. I mean, I didn't say come on, but it was just audible, like, that's not funny. It's really not when you think about how much bath salts and all that stuff just, like, ruin lives and tear apart homes and, you know, all that bad stuff. Though I don't think the movie is really promoting drugs, seeing as how that guy had a very unhappy demise. I guess that's kind of a spoiler. Alright, now that stuff kind of said, I mean, the movie was still pretty funny. I mean, they had a lot of funny characters. I thought Michael Cera as the really tiny sausage link who was a little deformed. He was a fantastic character. He had his own odyssey that he went on throughout the movie, and I thought he was a pretty funny character. You know, from the trailers, I thought Frank ended up making it to the house, but he didn't. Like, he comes out of the package trying to save another thing that was falling, and so he ends up stuck in the store when his whole package of sausages end up getting taken to, you know, the house and all that stuff. So he goes through this odyssey through the store. Frank is Seth Rogen, by the way. So he goes through this odyssey through the store, learns the truth that humans are eating him and everybody else. So it was kind of interesting. The characters themselves are funny, like the bun, Frank, you know, played by Seth Rogen, the little short dude, Michael Cera. They had this one piece of gum that was basically Stephen Hawking's. He was hilarious. Apparently he was stuck under smart scientists' table and learned their knowledge, and then he got scraped off and then managed to get his way to where he is, and he, you know, had a wheelchair, and I don't know, he was a hilarious character. There were a lot of characters that were really well done, and they were really funny. In the end, I am going to give this movie 2.5 out of 5 stars. Yeah, a small part of that is I didn't fully agree with the message that I felt the movie was trying to send my way. But then I do have a segment here called Reading Way Too Much Into, so maybe I'm just reading way too much into the movie. I mean, it is, after all, about humans eating food and the food not liking that, which then opens up the door to all kinds of philosophical questions. So if we humans aren't supposed to eat food because it's alive, then what are we supposed to eat because then what's not alive? But then what about that food? I mean, how is that food alive? Doesn't that food need some kind of food to eat so that it can sustain itself and live? I didn't see them eat in the movie. Maybe they don't need food, but if they do need food, what is their food like? And is their food alive? It's funny, but if you see it a second time, will it hold up? I don't know. Like, for me personally, I don't think it would hold up. If I went in to see it a second time, I don't think I would laugh as much. I think that the jokes would just be whatever. So that's just kind of me personally. It doesn't have that rewatchability factor. But maybe you think different. So if you saw it, how many stars out of 5 would you give it? Make sure to let me know in the comments. While you're there, hit that subscribe button. That way you're on top of all the new videos coming out here on Durbania. I'm Durban. Thanks for checking out Durbania.